What's happening, crypto fam? We've got an extremely interesting headline and article to read through here today. Upcoming DeFi rules in Europe could ban non-decentralized platforms and protocols. Non-decentralized. What's that mean? What do they mean? This could be a shitstorm, or it could be really fucking good for the space. Let's have a cheeky little read. Links will be in description. Go and have a read and a gander yourself, giving you the heads up. But the European Commission is evaluating the DeFi industry and could require protocols to obtain an MiCA license in the near future. Decentralized finance protocols in Europe could soon be under new regulations as the European Commission evaluates the space. According to Markets in Crypto Assets, the MiCA, the regulatory framework that governs digital assets within the region, the European Commission is required to prepare a report by December the 30th this year, evaluating the decentralized finance market and the feasibility of specific regulations for the sector. In preparation for this report, we have initiated a number of actions. For instance, we are running a study on embedded supervision. No policy decisions have been taken yet. Interesting. The report is tasked with exploring how decentralized systems, particularly those without a clear issuer or service provider, should be regulated. A significant aspect of this assessment will be able to explore the regulation of crypto assets lending and borrowing, a core activity within the DeFi space. Interesting. So it doesn't really sound like it's more staking protocols. It's the decentralized platforms, potentially from centralized entities, that are offering DeFi lending and borrowing. DeFi represents a shift from traditional centralized financial systems to peer-to-peer finance enabled by decentralized technologies built on blockchain. While traditional finance laws often depend on regulating central parties like banks or financial service providers, decentralized systems operate without such intermediaries. Or do they? Obviously, once you know that there's independent and intermediate validators within a network, you know it's decentralized. The whole XRPL's not decentralized, Ripple nodes. You've just not looked at the validators and the nodes. This is what sounds like they're doing. They're going to go across every DEX, every decentralized exchange, even the centralized ones that are offering DeFi. Bitrue, Binance. Bitrue's power pigger is probably going to be subject to this. But will the XRPL DEX, will the root DEX, will BNB Binance Chain, decentralized exchange on Binance? It's interesting, to say the least. A potential new regulation has raised concerns about the legal viability of some crypto projects. MakerDAO, our co-founder, noted that the rules could place some DeFi interfaces such as decentralized exchanges under licensing requirements. This would make DeFi front ends on normal internet domains as we know them today impossible. Only fully decentralized local downloaded front ends or full KYC online front ends would be possible. Interesting. Well, let's read that again. This would make DeFi front ends on normal internet domains as we know them today impossible. Maybe a good thing. That may be a good thing. Now, on the domain isn't the app. A downloadable wallet, ADA dataless, that's a decentralized wallet. I don't think that is subject to what they're talking about here. Because if ADA was online, now this goes to Uniswap. You'd use Uniswap on an interface without really needing to download anything. You've downloaded a MetaMask application or other wallet application. Interesting. So in the same vein, our Edge consulting partner Nathan Catania believes that an eventual DeFi regulation would apply to all non-fully decentralized applications, including DeFi front ends. According to Catania, the MiCA regulations does not define what constitutes decentralization, and the extent of DeFi rules will significantly depend on the criteria used to determine the concept. So this is going to apply to all non-fully decentralized applications. Like we say, they're going to be looking at validators, at how decentralized these platforms actually are. If you are a centralized entity offering DeFi protocols like lending, borrowing and whatnot, you are going to be subject to new regulation potentially by the end of this year or next year. Even protocols that are not decentralized enough could be seen to be performing CASP services, such as exchanging crypto assets for other crypto assets. For front ends, there are also services such as reception and transmission of orders on behalf of third parties. So it could come down to how strict regulators want to be when enforcing this. Under the MiCA regulation, a crypto asset service provider, or CASP, is any entity that provides services related to digital assets to third parties, including exchange services, transfer services, and custodial wallets. Interesting, man. According to Catania, one of the key factors that regulators might consider in evaluating the level of decentralization is whether a professional service is being performed. A front end that simply provides users an interface to access DeFi without any control over users' funds and which doesn't charge a fee is less likely to be at risk than a front end that adds a fee on top, and even then would need to consider the legal technical details to be able to determine whether that activity should be licensed under MiCA. Fascinating. So Root Network, Root Decentralized Exchange, XRPL Decentralized Exchange, through Zum, through the app Zaman, through MetaMask on Root. No fees except the network fees, and we're all staking as part of the network. We're all being rewarded. True decentralization, nothing wrong with that. Like I'm saying, if you are a centralized entity offering DeFi solutions, start sweating. Oh my days. Another possible route for DeFi regulation would be through the Financial Action Task Force, the FATF. According to CoinChange Glass, it proposes that in certain scenarios, individuals or entities maintaining control or significant influence over DeFi arrangements may be categorized as virtual asset service providers, or VASPs. This classification applies even if the arrangements appear decentralized, underscoring the complexity of defining and regulating DeFi activities. So again, if you can't access Binance's decentralized exchange across any token without having a Binance account, that's not decentralized, is it? You go into a centralized provider, opening an account, and you need that account to access it. Anyone with an XRPL wallet can tap into the DEX and start making transactions. Anyone with a MetaMask wallet or any other wallet that connects to Root can go and do it. And there's many more. ADA mentioned it, Daedalus wallet. They are true decentralized wallets. They're not going to be subject to this regulation. It's not that there's not going to be a tier created for them further down the line, but they need to get a grip on the centralized entities that are taking advantage of decentralized systems and protocols and the space and the people within the space. So based on data, the total value locked in DeFi protocols has experienced a substantial increase over the past 4 years, from $570 million in April 2020 to $96.7 billion at the time of writing. I mean, bruh. I'm going to say that differently. We're not going to say 570 million. We're going to go from $500,000 to 96.7 billion. I mean, bro, that's like 192. As 192x, like in 4 years. In 4 years, it's gone from $500 million in value to over 90 billion. What's next? The key question is whether the DeFi arrangement is simply a technological arrangement or whether there is actually a controlling party behind it that can influence user value. This is fascinating. It won't be the end of it. Look out for December when they actually drop some. They've got to have the report out by December, so keep ears peeled for then. Go and have a look at it yourself. Let me know what you think in the comments. Fascinating stuff. You know the dance. Strive for happiness. True value is health, wealth, and happiness. So live long and hodl, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Peace.